What's up, everybody? I'm actually laughing because I was just reminiscing on last week and how, I suffered some loss. Last week I lost an umbrella that meant a lot to me. It actually didn't mean a lot to me. We didn't even have a chance to really get to know each other. I just got the umbrella. But the wind and the elements were just too strong, and couldn't handle it. So I was just reminiscing on the loss of last week. My umbrella is gone. Yes, a lot of people this week emailed me, hit me up, and said that it was funny for them that I lost my umbrella. But yes, I'm over it. I have moved inside this week. Welcome to Murals in the Market Live. I am Jason Hall, the Jason of all trades on Instagram. Man, yeah, last week was awesome. Like I said, I did experience a little bit of loss with my umbrella, but then I had an incredible interview with Taylor White from Raleigh, North Carolina, and she, with her ray of sunshine, brought me out of the fact that I was standing in the rain and had just lost a companion, my umbrella. So thanks again, Taylor White. Thanks for everybody that came in, and thanks for everybody who's been coming back, man. I've been seeing the numbers going up. Thank you for everybody who's been promoting us, everybody who's been coming back and supporting us. This has been an amazing ride, man. This has been crazy. This week's guest, sorry about that, is Kashink from Paris, France, and I can see that she is here. So this is going to be an amazing interview. I just like to do a little bit of house cleaning before we go on. Once again, Murals in the Market Live every Saturday, 11 a.m. I'm your host. Not only do I host this show, but I also am the official tour guide of Murals in the Market. So if you would like a tour in the summer, we do e-bike and walking tours, but in the winter we sort of gear ourselves more towards the walking tours. So if you'd like to do a walking tour of Murals in the Market, you can find more information on that at Ride Detroit. That's ridedetroit.com. Everything that we do is listed there. And I would love to take you guys for a walk around the market. And what's cool is now that I've been doing these lives, and I think it's up to, believe it or not, probably 25 different lives I've done. That's 25 different lives that I've done with every artist that has really given me the insight into their not only mural, but their thought process behind what they do and everything. So when you come on a tour, not only you get to have my incredible personality and me going, look over there, that's what that is, but you get to hear all the inside stuff that the artists have told me on these lives. So if you'd like to take a tour, check that out. Also, getting everybody ready for the Spotlight Detroit, man. If you're not following Spotlight Detroit on Instagram, go over there and follow that as well. It is a new entertainment venue. It's going to be packed with art, all kinds of great stuff going on, music. I've been following it, and their Instagram is popping, and I cannot be more excited for that. People tell me I got to start being more interactive. So what's up, Anthony? Hold down the shop. I'll be there soon. What's up, Shido? I see everybody getting in. But I can't eat up too much time. I got to get to my guest because right now, I swear, this guest is going to easily eat up an hour of time. So what's cool is we have decided that we're going to go ahead and start maybe recording some part twos to stuff, and you'll be able to access that on different websites and stuff like that. So we're going to go, and let me see if I can see. I thought I saw that she was there, so I'm going to try to pull her in. Let's see, where did she go? Give me a second here. Oh, there. Come on, baby. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Oh, there. Aha. No further ado, everyone. Let's get to it. It is connecting us right out the gate.
Hey.
There it is. What's up?
Hi.
What is going on? I knew it.
Well. Something that I always like to say when I start talking, wearing these glasses. Hi, I'm high.
Yes. I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna have another edible right now.
Nice.
I'm trying to get to where you are, but I usually am out at the murals, but this time
It's freezing cold in the winter, and I knew you were going to bring something that I didn't even need to be at the mural. And so we're going to get right into this. And usually I do a background where I say, where did you start? And all this jazz. But
Yeah.
there's more than enough media out about you. So I need to, let's get right into like what you are doing right now. Where do you want to start? You want to start with movie, book? Where do you want to start?
Okay, I think movie, I'm gonna start with that because I've been working really hard lately on editing and doing all the post-production things that need to be done on the short films I've been working on. I've been working on short films for the past 5 years. It started with a short film I wanted to do about my neighborhood in Paris, the 20th district, which is east of Paris. And it started because I was approached by a local organization which wanted to do some participative mural in that place, which was going to be destroyed. And it was like a sports facility. It was a huge sports facility center. And when I saw the place and I saw everybody that was going there, and I knew that it was going to be destroyed because of gentrification, I immediately wanted to do a short film about it. So that was basically the first film I came up with. And since then, that facility has been destroyed, and now there's new apartment buildings. You know the drill. It's been happening everywhere in the biggest city in the world, basically in developed countries. So this is what's been going on. And later, I started working for that first film with a camera guy which now I've been working on for the past 5 years. He's been documenting my work, and he's been following me around in my travels and all kinds of performances I've been doing. And I've been working with him again on these short films I'm going to be posting soon. I did.
Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, because yesterday I had this like whole list of stuff. I'm like, okay, this is where we start, blah blah blah, and you just went right in. And I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. Like, there's this thing that everybody wants to ask you about, and I think you know, because immediately you went into and you cut me off. You just took the pressure off of me having to figure out how to work it in. But let's talk about the book and what that's about,
Yeah.
and then that will answer a lot of the questions I'm sure that you get that you deal with on a daily basis.
Yes. Hey, Malik, ça va? A friend of mine from France is on on the live right now. Anyway, so I've been working on a book as well. Those of you who know me know I've been wearing this makeup on my face for the past 7 years, so it's been a while. I started doing this as I would say, like as a little joke, making fun of feminine makeup, the two symmetrical lines that you would find usually on a woman's face on eyebrows or eyeliner. I did them here for a party once, a couple of times. And that's how it started basically. And for the past 7 years now, I've been wearing this makeup on my face for like every day, all day. Before that, it was more like a performance thing or like an artist persona sort of performance makeup thing that I was doing. But I realized I really liked myself when I see myself in the mirror wearing these two symmetrical lines on my face. I really enjoy it. I like my face. So at first I had nothing else to say than that, like, hey, I like my face this way. This is who I want to be, because I like my hair a certain way. I like my whatever clothes a certain way, like it's part of my style. And then little by little, I developed a whole process of thoughts and reflection on what I was doing, being like intrigued by the different reactions I would get from random people I would see on the streets, or in public transportation or whatever. And since I traveled a lot for the past 7 years, I was basically mostly outside of France, at least half the year, I would say. And so I found myself in customs many times, like flying or discovering new countries, new cultures, and everything. It was very interesting because I traveled in the 5 continents, really. So I had the chance, to be able to share my work and be invited in all these places, but also to interact, with that makeup on my face, and people, of course, seeing this as a mustache and everything. So it's challenging not only an artistic perspective to share, you know, in a book, because it's my vision, my own, you know, vision of who I want to be and who I am and how I want to share this with the world, you know. But it's also a way to explore, you know, different expressions of identity, and that's completely part of my work as well as a street artist. This makeup I'm wearing is also part of my art as a performance and also as a statement. You know, I want to share that idea that it's cool to be doing whatever you want with your face. You know, it's cool to be whatever do it, to be doing whatever you want with your hair or with your clothes or with, you know, how people perceive you in a way, because it's not only for me a way to show other options in terms of identity, of gender fluidity, but also of like freedom in the most like open range of thoughts, like the freedom we can allow ourselves to present ourselves to the world the way that suits us, you know, and to try to free ourselves from people's judgment and just not care and be ourselves the way we want to be, and just not be too focused on people's opinions or what are their fears or what they project on us, and that might affect you because you know that this type of thoughts can happen: rejection, judgment, feeling like you're not good enough, you know, because of how you look. And I think that's something that many people can relate to. So hence the idea of writing a book and sharing that with the widest audience to just create bridges, you know, and create this type of intersection in this type of thoughts.
So when you first started doing it, it started out as this sort of, you know, just art project, but now it's become you, you know. Do you ever, when you go out and people, they obviously are going to stare, do you let them stare, or do you ever try to like take the pressure off and just say, look, let me talk to you about what this is? Because I mean,
Yeah,
people are people, you know. How does that work?
it works that before I took that decision, I was already an eccentric person. I was always pointed at, also because of my style before that. So I was used to it somehow since I was a teenager, I would say. I chose, you know, to have that style because it suits me and my personality. I was wearing, you know, like I had dyed hair, whatever, wearing weird makeup or uh, outfits, whatever, or dressing as a like as a whatever, like costumes and stuff like that. I've always been super intrigued and inspired also by carnivals and masks and all these, you know, things that are like a way to express ourselves, but also to criticize, you know, the norms and the pressure of being palatable, you know, as an individual in a society. So I think it all started with that idea that I was already kind of like out of the box already.
Right,
And I
right.
was already feeling that I didn't belong really to what the norms or normativity was like. And then it was just natural for me to just go for it all the way, you know. And I'm getting that question right now. Why don't you tattoo your makeup? Uh, it's a good question. I think what also prevents me from doing it is two things. First of all, the pain.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because, yeah, oh my God, the pain. I know it's gonna hurt like a bitch. I know that mouth is like so unnerved, you know, that it is gonna hurt. And then second thing is I love the idea of doing this every single morning, you know. I love the idea of being conscious of what I'm doing. It's not something that I can do nothing. It's there and that's it, you know. I'm doing it. I'm doing it every morning again
Yep.
and again and again with that same conscience of what I'm doing and how I'm presenting myself again today like this and how I'm choosing this, you know.
Yep. No, I get it. It makes 1000% sense now that you put it in that perspective. That I never even thought about it like that. But I don't want to focus this on that because that's not all you are. That's a mere fraction, really, of what your entire life is an art project. You know what I'm saying? So you have the glasses. So are glasses a new thing that you're doing for the public, or is this just part of your expression for you? What's going on with glasses?
The glasses are a project that I started doing when I was in the first lockdown. I was really like shocked to realize how much I needed to be in the same space, in the same spot for
Right,
a longer period of time, and how much it helped me recover from all these that I was exhausted from traveling, from working so hard. You know, I was really tired, and I needed
right.
to focus on studio work, which I had never really done before. So studio work was perfect because it was a time for me to experiment on stuff. I didn't really paint that much at first during the first lockdown. You know, I was like, all right, let's explore, let's have fun, let's try new things. And also I was doing some music every Sunday. I had like a Sunday service. It was
So
more,
what is that about?
no, I was
It
like,
never, is there ever a moment where you're not doing some form of art?
um, I don't know, maybe when I'm sleeping.
I mean, seriously, but how often do you sleep? I mean, do you really sleep?
I
I
do.
bet you don't.
I do sleep. I sleep 8 hours a night. I love sleeping. I love being in my bed. But it's true that I like to turn everything into something creative. That's true. I just can't help it, I guess. It's part of my DNA. I don't know.
No, no, that's awesome. So let's talk about your mural art. You know, when did you start developing your skills as, I mean, because you came up in the street.
Yeah, yeah. I started painting graffiti when I was a teenager in high school. You know, basically, I had friends who were into it. It was the 90s. It was very popular. And it was some of aesthetics that were also related to something cool that I was really attracted to. Not only the music, hip hop, I would say, that I found cool, but I was also like into punk rock and metal and shit like that. So I was very eclectic in the music choices. So I didn't really relate to the rap scene, but also to the aesthetic of something that was new and creative and completely inclusive with all kinds of different media, like the breakdancing, the graffiti and everything. It was like part of a whole folklore that I found really appealing, but also the idea of doing something illegal for the sake of creating art, you know. That's what graffiti was about, and still is in the non-street art form. I mean, it's all about like taking risks, taking like major legal and physical risks just for the sake of writing something, you know. And I find that super fucking poetic and interesting, and that's why I'm still very attached to graffiti and the practice of graffiti, because I think that's like a practice that is not uh, is freer than street art that sometimes wants to please the eye, I would say.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how I started basically. Developing these characters and these images that were characters inspired from uh, like maybe masks. That was a tradition that was very inspiring for me. Illustration, I was very much into comic books as well. So I was very inspired from everything I was seeing that was creative, pretty much, you know, like not necessarily only graffiti, but like portraits I was very attracted to. I remember seeing Frida Kahlo's work, and I was impressed by the strength in her lines, and how she was representing her face as a woman with a clearly like a secret mustache like mine, you know.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Brow and pain that was inside her, and all the photos also I was seeing of portraits of French photographers I was seeing in Paris. There's always been a lot of art and a lot of culture in
Mhm.
the city of Paris, so it's very interesting to see now that I'm older, that I was so inspired from all these things, from all the different portraits and people I was seeing in this also multicultural environment where I grew up. Paris is very diverse, so there was all sorts of inspirations that could get in creating the work I did later.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the US, the question always comes up of women in the art world versus men. Was there ever any pushback for being female and being as outspoken as you are? I mean, because I guarantee you weren't a quiet writer back then.
Yeah, I always was very I always had a big mouth, I guess. It's been always like part of I guess also the idea of being eccentric and standing out, like okay, deal with it, like fuck you if you're not comfortable with how I look or what I do as an artist, like I don't give a fuck. Really, I just want to do whatever pleases me, that's the fucking short life that we get, it passes so fast. And then and then you die, so might as well enjoy it and try to be doing whatever pleases you or what brings you joy. That was always a part of my motivation, and my determination in my art.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a quick question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you identify as non-binary? So yes, it's a very interesting question. You were talking about, Jason, you were talking about being a woman artist, and I think it's a crucial thing that I was, of course, a minority in the field I was working on. Right now, there is a lot more diversity, even though there is still, of course, a majority of men, cis men, who are in the street art and visible as street artists, especially in the highest positions of fame.
Right.
And that's also because it's because of tiny little details. Like no one really gives a chance to a women artists to paint huge fucking walls.
Okay.
That's something that most curators don't even think about. Okay, I've been living in Paris for more than 20 years, and honestly, I never got any offer to paint a wall in my own city that would be like a big wall, like a big enough of a wall, which for me is at least 3 stories high wall. Type of wall that I painted in Detroit, for example. So I think it's very interesting that I got confronted to that in my own city. There is many walls that are huge walls that were painting that were painted in Paris, and none of them were painted by women. There is not one big wall in Paris that was painted by a woman, and by non-binary people either. Whatever you want to think. All these big walls were painted by men, cis white men, young, in their, I would say, the same rank of age and the same type of social background.
Of course.
So there is no diversity. There's no diversity in the access of the most visible positions. Okay, that's for sure. And that's a fact, and that's also part of the art world and art history, I would say, even though things are changing now because of numbers and because of visibility that's being accessible because we are out there and because the walls are visible, we are visible. I make myself visible also in that aim, but speaking about non-binary or a woman, I like the idea of being non-binary because I identify as this. But to be honest, I on one day, even 1 hour, I can totally switch from one point to another, feel like I'm either of these things And I think that everybody feels that too, like depending on who you interact with. If is it your neighbor, is it your friend, is it your mom, or is it your kid or your partner, whatever, you are in a different situation where you find yourself in that balance, in that moment. And it's very diverse, the way we feel and the way we interact with one another as humans and the way we feel inside. It's very fluid to me.
Right.
So that's why gender fluidity I like, because I clearly feel that fluidity in me. But I was thinking about something, and I don't know, it would require to be developed a little more, but being categorized as a woman artist also, I mean, has pros and cons, but the pro is that it's political. I'm being a non-binary artist is also political, but it's less visible and less understandable by most people. Most people don't know what non-binary means, and they probably don't care,
Yeah.
and I probably don't care about their identity either,
Right.
makes sense after all. But being perceived and seen physically as a woman is something that I cannot help, but and I don't mind. And being considered as a woman artist to me is an honor. Yeah. I love that because I know that things are changing, because I know that I can make things change also by my actions. And also I can give another perspective of woman art by being fluid, and by presenting this type of work as a performer and being questioning really what being a woman artist should be as well. Is it because I'm a woman artist that I should be painting only women? Or should I be doing feminine art? What does it mean? What does femininity even mean?
See, you're messing me up. Now, I'm supposed to be asking the questions that you're asking so many, my brain is going nuts. I'm like, what is femininity? What is all this? And it's true, what is, we were talking yesterday about the political climate, of what's going on. I'm always interested to hear how, the good old US is being perceived across, in other places. What's going on in Paris right now, as far as COVID, and how are people dealing with all that, and how is that affecting society over there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna answer that question real quick. Do you like working with other women? Yes, I do. I love doing collaborations, and it's been really interesting to do that. I've been doing it also with like other artists, but I'll tell you more about it. Situation in and thank you about the tribute to Bilal Bereni. I have a story about this. I don't know if I should. Maybe I should tell you the story real quick.
Tell the story, please.
So I painted this mural inspired by Bilal Bereni's work, which was a neighbor of mine. He was a really talented young artist who, unfortunately, got murdered in Detroit, and it was a while ago. It was, I think, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And he was a really inspired political artist, street artist, taking a lot of risks, doing illegal stuff in Paris. He was doing like really, really interesting and important work. And he passed away, and I painted that wall in our neighborhood where he was living as well, in tribute, in homage to him. And then another wall in Detroit, nearby the place where he got murdered, also in tribute to him and his work. And there was a commissioned wall in our neighborhood for a official tribute to that artist, and they didn't pick me. They picked a white guy. A white cis man. So it fucking sucks. I fucking hate that. Fuck you, Julien Man. Death. Glove fucking trotter my ass. Now it's said. You know who I'm talking about. So anyway, so that was a really fucking disappointing event, but it's okay. I mean, after all, I'm not too bitter about it. I just wish I could have painted that wall for him. And by the way, I could have had that mural in our neighborhood marking history with a tribute to that artist painted by a woman, a big wall in our neighborhood where I and him were living. That would have made sense.
Right.
But anyway, so about Paris and about what's going on, it's been really shitty. It's been it's been a mess since before COVID. There was already a lot of riots, a lot of protests about social injustice and gaps being wider and wider between the richer and the poor in the country, which is a developed, supposedly rich country, and where people were starving, literally. So it was really shitty. All these protests lasted for 2 years. It was really violently repressed by the police. A lot of people lost an eye because of rubber bullets, or lost a hand because they had these tiny grenades that would explode when you were grabbing them. A lot of tear gas, a lot of police brutality in general. And COVID fucking destroyed even more the situation, and the social situation didn't get better. Of course, it gets even worse because of COVID, because everybody's been losing their jobs, and also there was a different situations of police brutality, and what happened in the US with George Floyd and everything had a huge impact in France.
Yeah, did it really?
And it was really important because there was finally a voice for that, for all that topic to be addressed, which had never really been done before. There was Assa Traoré, which is the sister of a young guy who was murdered by the police in 2016, Adama Traoré, and she suddenly had a bigger audience because there was interest. There was interest about what was going on in the US and Black Lives Matter and everything, and there was nothing really in France that was happening that was as big as this. Whereas there was several cases of police brutality leading to murders that happened. And recently there was a situation with a young producer, a black guy who was in the 17th district in Paris, and whose name was Michel, and he's still alive, but he got beat up by the police really bad. And there was a footage of what happened, because there was a security camera in this music studio where he was working, where he got beat up by the police. They wanted to fine him for not wearing a mask and possibly maybe smoking a spliff. None of these things deserve to be beaten the way he did, the way he got. Like, he got to the hospital with, like, his face was like just destroyed. And they also threw some tear gas in his studio because he didn't want to get out. And after all, he got out of the studio again, and then they beat him again. Well, find the video online if you want to find that. You can find it easily. Just type on Google Michel, music producer, Paris, France, police brutality, whatever, you will find it. And that could have been, I would say, the fire starter for bigger riots in France. Unfortunately, COVID, happens. And this situation really has two impacts. The first impact is that it really puts everybody in this environment of fear, being anxious, being suspicious about one another. Oh, they're wearing a mask. Are they wearing a mask? Did they go there? Did they gather with other people? Are they potentially contagious? Whatever. This type of vibe where you're not sure if you can trust your neighbor or your own fucking family, and that really, to me, is really shitty. And on the other hand, the fear of the police, the fear of being fined because you're not wearing a mask. It's 135 euros fine in France. It's like $150 more or less, you know. So if they catch you without a mask, or if they catch you with, and it happened to me, I was smoking a cigarette and they gave me a fine. My mask was on my chin, you know. That fucking sucks, you know. Like I don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm afraid to even smoke
Right.
or do whatever, because I know I might get a fine, you know. And I was intrigued by this idea of being scared, and so scared and so pushed in these situations of extreme emotions, you know, being scared to die, you know, being scared of whatever can happen to you, and also being scared of being controlled by the police, being fined, having to spend that much money, and on top of that, if you're not complying, if you're not collaborating, you can be beat up, you know.
Right. Right.
And there was also on the other side a law that the government tried to pass to make it illegal to film the police doing whatever they were doing, and that's really bad. So that's really like I think what started more protests that happened for the past Saturdays. I was there. I recorded everything, and I recorded people, you know, talking, because I wanted to ask them how they were doing, you know. So I went through the crowd, and I was asking, hey, how you doing? How's life? No, really, how are you? You know, because I wanted to know and to be able to share that, because we're only shown horrible situations in on TV and on the news and everything, and all the numbers of dead people and the casualties and whatever lethal statistics and shit, and it's been really like affecting us, I think, mentally, you know. And on top of that, that police situations where there was police brutality, and then they were saying that we couldn't even prove it because we couldn't film it anymore, and then protests against that repressed by more police brutality. So it was fucked up, you know. Like I just can't wait for that fucking COVID to be over, and I can't wait to be able to get to a more peaceful situations, you know. It's been really like a cluster of violence and fear and anxiety this year. It really sucks, you know. Like I can't wait
an entire year of this madness.
yeah. And it also helped, I guess, me for example, but I know that other friends of mine I've been talking to, it helped us focusing on what was essential and what were our priorities in life, how we wanted to work, how we wanted to make a living, if we could make a living, how we wanted to manage our relationships with others, with our loved ones, with social interactions in general. You know, it really was a situation where, and it is still a situation of deep questioning as far as I'm concerned. We'll see how it goes in the future, because I'm reading in French comments that say the hardest part is the first year. Come on.
Right. Have they started vaccinating people over there?
No, it's going to start in January, they say. I don't want to.
I don't want it. I mean, I don't want it. I'm not taking it for like a good while until they work out. I hate to make it sound like a computer, but well, they got to work out all the bugs before I put anything in my body like that. But I was just curious if they had started, you know, rationing that out to people over there. So,
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy that we talk about police brutality and us being over here. We think it's a strictly exclusive thing. People always say, you know what? I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm going to France, or I'm going to Europe. But there's no escaping the evil that exists, and that's what ties us all together. And we all need to kind of come together to eradicate this.
Yeah. It's really questioning also the way we want to. I mean, it's possible because of the magical internet situation that we can talk to one another wherever we are and everything. But I miss my friends in the US, you know, I miss my friends in other parts of the world. And it's been also hard to stay at home and everything, even if it's necessary, even if it's necessary to wear a mask, even if it's necessary to take all these precautions to be sure that we're not, you know, spreading more of that virus and everything. But it comes with a lot of mental, I don't know the right term in English, but in French it would be like a mental charge.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know,
No.
a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of efforts and energy, you know, to stay positive in that situation. And and what was going on with street art also for the past years was so blooming. There was a lot of street art events, and then all
Mhm.
of like I was thinking lately about Miami Art Basel, you know, that didn't happen this year, which was
Mhm.
such an important event in the community and everything. And even though I wasn't going for years, last time I went was in 2014, so it was years ago. But I was like, all right, that's gonna change a whole like a lot of perspective on the art market maybe as well.
Mhm.
You know, like who knows? Uh, I think for now we don't really fully see the consequences of what's going on. But I hope the consequences will be not only shitty news, but also
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
hey, let's and that's, we saw a glimpse of that with Black Lives Matter, honestly. Like communities organizing themselves on the inside for free food. There is friends of mine in Chicago who have been organizing that, you know, like decorating fridges that are like free food for everybody outside. I bet in Detroit it also exists. There was organizations for local security, local life, whatever is doable. Actually, I think that's the key, basically, the local life, our local uh, circle, how we can affect all of these people that are around us positively, how we can interact in a optimistic perspective, you know, and how all these little things can add up and create like a movement of a new, I would say, way of thinking and maybe organizing our
Mhm.
priorities in life, you know?
Mhm. I mean,
Yeah.
I always joke that honestly, during this time of COVID, as crazy as it's been, I've read more books. I've become closer with my family. I mean, all these values that I didn't really have in my life have sort of come in now, and it's kind of wild how COVID has changed me. And when we come out of this, do we go back to the old ways, or do we just continue moving forward in this new sort of, I think, almost positive way?
Yeah. I think there's no other option, honestly, because it's been so shitty so far. You know, like, it's been so fucking
Right?
shitty.
Oh,
It's
for
so
sure, for
organized.
sure.
And also it showed that our government sucked at organizing shit like that. They sucked. They sucked at organizing like fucking basic shit such as like masks for everybody at the beginning.
Right.
For that, like they sucked at organizing everything. Like there was not one thing that was well organized in the whole
Right.
fucking, you know.
Well, we have similar presidents. Your president seems to like ours quite a bit, and oh, our outgoing president. So, I could see how our situations would be similar. So, we've been in the hole for a second. Let's come out of it. What's happening now? What do you work on? So, presently, currently, right now, is there a project that you're working on that you're talking of? I know we talked about the book and the movies. Do you have any mural artwork going on or anything that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I have projects for next year now because it's almost the end of the year. And yes, our president has COVID right now, so it's a really cool.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at you. I'm not laughing at that. You know.
But yeah, I mean, I'm super positive about next year because that's the way I am, and I want
Yeah.
to think that next year will be better. Well, I'll be hopefully able to travel again. I already have some stuff for the summer. I should be painting a wall in Cleveland, a
Ah,
commission of the ACLU, so that's pretty cool. And I already have other projects, like participative murals in the same migrant center I've been working on with kids lately. I want to also paint more in my neighborhood in the 20th district as well, because I want to just like take over that fucking space that I'm not getting. They're not giving it to me. I want to take it.
That's what you got to do. I mean, you know that. You come from take it. You don't come from permission. Let's
Exactly.
take it. You know what I mean?
So I've been doing that already for a few years in the same neighborhoods. I'm gonna keep on doing that. And maybe I don't know, try to maybe develop. I mean, since I was inside a lot and doing this new art with the glasses and everything, maybe I'm gonna be inspired also by this type of compositions in my new murals. I've been painting for 15 years now, so basically, as far as murals go, I've been doing a lot, and I think I made a point. Like basically, I don't
Right.
need to prove anything anymore in that field. But I'm super excited about the films. I'm super excited about collaborative projects also with makeup. I've been working on this last summer. It was really cool. I did it in a very small village in France, where I showed people my art, and then just called for volunteers, whoever wanted to get the makeup done, and a photo shoot where they could get a nice photo of them afterwards. And I'd love to develop that a little more, to do something that also implies I would say another physical interaction in another way, because I love the idea of performance. I think I'm a performer of public art, whether it's murals or the makeup I've been wearing, or the films or the books, or this type of like makeup thing I want to develop. It's all part of the same idea, the same concept. Public art about identity, celebrating the diversity of our identities, and exploring it in physical ways,
Yeah. Right.
but also in inclusive ways, and in different ways that allow myself as an artist not to be bored with just one thing.
Yeah. No, because you've been doing, I mean, you said it yourself, you've been painting for 15 years. And, you've got to, the obvious question is, has there ever been a time where you were burnt out, where you were just like, you know what, I'm kind of done, I'm tired, and then you push through?
Honestly, yeah, I found myself in that situation where I was exhausted. And as I said, at the beginning of COVID and lockdown and everything, I realized that actually I never really, I mean, I knew, oh my God, there's a fly on me, I'm going to get elected.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, what was I saying? I can't remember.
Burnout, you're
Yeah,
burnt out.
I was tired. I was tired. But now I rested. Thank you, COVID.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like I've been more rested during this time than, so, it's a weird thing how that works out. So,
Yeah.
is there, all right, so I want to thank you first off. Yesterday I said I'm a huge fan. So as usual, I mean, thank you for doing this. And this has been one of the best ones I've done. I knew that it was gonna be awesome when you were like, I think I'm gonna bring out some new stuff that I've been doing. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. Is there
Thank you.
let everybody know where, besides your Instagram, I'll say it right now. If you don't follow her on Instagram, go do it right now. Her Instagram is amazing. But where else can they find you, and where else can we support your artwork?
All right. So on my Instagram, there's a link to an online shop where you can get some art and buy some drawings I do. I try to keep some low prices, because I like to think that street art is for the people and it's affordable. And whoever wants to commission me for bigger work and has money can reach out as well.
And somebody just asked again, are they going to be able to buy sunglasses? Paige wants to know if she can buy
Oh,
sunglasses.
I don't know. They're super fragile, but maybe I could come up with, you know what? Maybe I could come up with like designs that could be, yeah, why not? Why
I
not?
think you should. I think you should.
But I'm still gonna keep using them in the music I make because that's also part of the side projects I have, like making music and being like a, you know, Ramalzi?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, huge inspiration for me.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
and that was also super interesting because he was creating these costumes and everything. He was making music. He was a rapper. He was making films. He was making performances. He was painting, of course, walls and canvases and everything. And I really relate to that plural approach, like multi dimensional approach of art.
Hmm. Hmm. Nah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like I said, I think you should start making them. I'd wear a pair, and I'm not even lying. I would definitely get a pair. I would rock them for sure. And when you come to Cleveland, you got to hit me up and let me know because I would shoot over to Cleveland to hang out for sure.
All right, cool. Sounds
All
great.
right. Any
All
last
right.
words before I let you go?
Well, self-love, baby. Self-love.
Ah, that is it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kashink. I am loving this. Uh, I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna hit you up in the next. I'm gonna let you get your work in, but in the next couple of days, I'm gonna hit you up and we're gonna talk about some stuff. All right.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
Have a good evening for you, and I'm gonna go hang out in the snow here.
Thank you. Well, it's freezing here too, but anyway, have fun. Enjoy the last days of 2020, and yeah, 2021's be better.
There it is, everybody. See you soon.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Ah, I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. This was one to not be missed. Uh, you just got a ton of knowledge. Not even ton. I mean, it was just a fluid conversation that was amazing, and that's just sums up who she is. Really, I hope that gave you a great start to your Saturday, like it gave me an amazing start to mine. Every Saturday, 11 a.m., different artists from around the world, Murals on the Market Live. I am the Jason of all trades. Please follow me on Instagram. Go over there. As soon as I get off of this, go over there and add me, add me, add me. I'd love to add more international people. And once again, we also do tours of Murals in the Market. So if you'd like to do a tour, go over to ridedetroit.com and find out more information about that. Keep your eye out for Spotlight Detroit. That is going to be coming up soon. Go at their Instagram. Man, if you want to support the artists, go over to onetimesrun.com, buy some of their art. You can always watch this interview back on the Murals in the Market Instagram. And then I also will be posting it live on the Ride Detroit YouTube page, which you can go to and subscribe. Everybody, thank you for a beautiful Saturday morning. See y'all next week.